I was going to do another tier list today, but this has just annoyed me too much. Hey guys, how's it going today? I'm here with a video that I wouldn't normally do, and as you can probably tell by the title, I am done with Cyberpunk 2077. Now, for those of you that somehow don't know, Cyberpunk 2077 is one of the most anticipated games of all time. However, at launch it was in such a buggy, broken, unfinished state that many players initially just gave up with it straight away at launch, and it's been dubbed as one of the biggest failures ever in gaming history. Even despite all of this, I was still excited to play the game, and at the time I didn't have the money to buy it, so I asked for it for Christmas, and my brother got it me for Christmas. So Christmas Day, booted it up. I was initially, considering I was playing on PS5 at the time, initially confused as to why it graphically didn't look as good as it did, but having played through the opening 5 hours or so, I was confused as to why everyone was so annoyed. I hadn't, discovered any glitches or any bugs at all, and the story was very engrossing up in the first prologue sort of section. I was wondering, what's everyone complaining about? But as you guys can see by this gameplay here, this is exactly why I've now just given up with Cyberpunk 2077. And it genuinely hurts me and breaks my heart to say that, but I have, and I'm not sure if I'm going to go back and even finish the story now after this. Just for a bit more context, on Christmas, after I'd finished playing that first 5 hours, I had already gone online, seen how hard it was to get the platinum, planned how many days it would take me to do it, decided what sort of story path I was going to go down without spoiling the story for myself. I still don't know how the game ends. I know there's multiple endings, so there's probably one where you give your body over to Johnny and one where you just somehow get rid of him. Here's my presumption. But the likelihood is, until the PS5 version of this game comes out, I'm probably never going to touch it again. Just so you're all aware, I'm currently playing on patch 1.2. And as I stated before, when everyone was saying the game was buggy, it was perfectly fine for me. In fact, the game's got buggier the more it's apparently been patched by CD Projekt Red. I personally have found more and more bugs the more that I've played this game, which makes sense, but the longer time's gone on since the game's been released, the worse it's got, to the point where now it is simply just unplayable. And you might be thinking, yeah, Sam, there's a bit of stuttering, frame dropping, it's sort of in a somewhat frozen state, just restart it. I had just restarted this 10-minute section because there was a glitch where the drone I was controlling wasn't scanning a truck. And in honesty, that's what disappoints me most about this game. I don't normally care about glitches. Like, I didn't mind Black Ops Cold War's glitches when that came out, because the base game itself was actually very good, very playable, at least at launch. But with a huge open world action RPG shooter, looter shooter like Cyberpunk 2077, I will sit down and want to play the game for hours and hours on end, do all the side missions before I even complete the story, do all the gigs, buy all the rides. When I play the game for 20 minutes and have my immersion broken twice in 20 minutes, why would I want to play the game? Now, yes, I do understand that a lot of huge open world games like this have bugs. I played Skyrim, I loved Skyrim. There were little technical hiccups which actually made the game more fun. You could exploit it in some ways, or just mess about with NPCs and see how much you could break the game. I don't mind breaking a game, but when the game is broken and it's just breaking itself around me, I just can't. And it disappoints me because playing through the story, I'm somewhat invested in it. I'm invested in some of the characters. I like Johnny, I like Panam. The character I like the least is V, actually, funnily enough. I really like Jackie. I love there's a funeral scene in the game for a character, and that's a great scene. And that's a side mission, and just like The Witcher 3, some of the best missions are actually the side missions that I've experienced so far, apart from that opening 5-hour prologue. I'm not going to go on too long today, but CD Projekt Red, you've broken my patience. I am normally someone that no matter what will finish games. As you guys know, I finished The Last of Us Part 2, and I hated Abby. And I still ended up liking that game in the end. I'm not someone that generally dislikes things, so if I dislike things, you've got a problem. I know there's a good game underneath all this mess, but I just cannot make myself go back to it in any state like this. So for now, as much as it pains me to say it, I'm not touching Cyberpunk 2077 until the PS5 version comes out, at least. I was already slightly disappointed, but I just give up now. I just don't see the point. Anyway, guys, that's it for me for today. I can't do this anymore. Thank you guys so much for the support recently. The channel has been growing, I hope, at a good rate. We've gained about 8 subscribers in the past couple of days. Thank you guys so much for that. And we're averaging about 200 views every day, which is almost 10 times what we were averaging this time 2 weeks ago. So just thank you guys so much for that. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified every single time that I go live. And introduce yourself in the comments. We've got a nice little community growing here. So don't worry, just pop in, say hi. Everyone will say hi back. Okay, cheers guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys. This game's broke me.